All right, so you want to learn a new language, but where on earth do you even begin? Well, today we're going to skip all the complicated stuff and build a really practical toolkit of essential Indonesian words. Look, this isn't about getting fluent by next Tuesday, okay? It's about giving you the real solid building blocks so you can start having an actual conversation like right now. So let's jump right in.
Okay, so you've picked Indonesian. Awesome choice. But then that moment hits, right? You're looking at all these grammar books and charts and just endless lists of words. It can feel like a lot. So the big question is, if you actually want to speak the language, what's the smartest way to start?
You know, the answer is way simpler than you might think. You start with the absolute essentials. Forget about getting bogged down in confusing grammar for now. We're going to build a super solid foundation with the words you'll genuinely use every single day.
And really, what's more essential than being able to talk about time? I mean, think about it. These next few words are the absolute bedrock for talking about your past, your present, and your future. Let's get into it.
First up, we've got hari ini. Let's say it together. Hari ini. This is how you say today. It sounds simple, I know, but it's an incredibly powerful word for anchoring any conversation right here in the present moment. And here it is in a sentence. Hari ini langit cerah. That means today the sky is clear. Simple enough, right? But you can swap in pretty much anything. Like hari ini saya belajar. Today I am learning. And just like that, you're already making complete sentences. See how that works?
Okay, now let's jump into the future. Our next word is besok. Besok. This means tomorrow, and it is your absolute key to making plans and talking about what's coming up.
Check out the structure here. Besok saya akan basically means tomorrow I will. This is such a powerful, reusable pattern. You just pop a verb on the end. Besok saya akan pergi. Tomorrow I will go. Boom. You're making plans.
All right, to finish up our little timeline, we've got to be able to talk about the past. And for that, we use Kemarin. Kemarin. And you guessed it, this means yesterday. Here's a perfect, totally relatable example. Saya libur kemarin. I took a day off yesterday. And you can switch out libur for anything else you did. Saya makan kemarin. I ate yesterday. I mean, think about that. With just those three words, hari ini, besok, and kemarin, you can now place any action in time. That's a huge step.
Okay, so we know when things are happening. Now let's get to the fun part. What is happening? It's time to add some action into the mix with a few killer verbs that are going to make your sentences really come alive.
Now this might be one of the most useful words you will learn, period. Bisa. Bisa. It means can or to be able to. Seriously, this word unlocks everything. Questions, requests, just talking about what you can or can't do.
Okay, now the example on the screen is a little more complex, so don't worry about that just yet. Let's break bisa down to its simplest form. If you just ask someone, bisa bantu, that means can you help? Or if you want to say you're able to do something, just saya bisa. I can. It's a real power word, especially when you're just starting out.
Next on our list is a fantastic all-purpose action word, mengerjakan. That's me, N-G-E-N-J-A-K-A-N. It basically means to do or to work on something. This is the verb you're going to use whenever you're talking about getting stuff done.
And hey, look at this. We're starting to tie everything together now. We've got our verb, mengerjakan, and we're combining it with a word we already know, hari ini. Saya harus mengerjakan banyak pekerjaan hari ini. I have to do a lot of work today. See? This is exactly how you start to build real, useful sentences.
All right, so we've got time, we've got action. Now let's add a little bit of flavor. Let's add some color. Adjectives are how we describe the world around us, and honestly, they're what makes language so much more interesting.
Let's kick things off with a super basic one. Kecil. Kecil. This just means small, and believe me, it's one of the most common descriptive words you're going to need.
So this example uses the kecil, which means the smallest. But you can see how the root word kecil is the key here, right? You could say rumah kecil for a small house, or buku kecil for a small book. Super easy to use. You know, one of the best ways to learn adjectives is to learn them in pairs with their opposites. So on one side we have cantik, that's chantik, which means beautiful. And on the other side it's opposite, jelek, jelek, which means ugly. Learning words together like this is a fantastic little memory hack.
Okay, so let's put it all together now. We haven't just learned some random list of words, right? We've actually collected a set of really powerful building blocks. So now, let's see how they fit inside a real, natural-sounding sentence.
Now I know what you're thinking. This sentence looks a little intimidating at first. But hang on, look closely. Do you see a word in there you might actually recognize? Yeah, right there, tahun. That means year. So even without knowing the whole sentence, you can already pull out key pieces of information. And that is a massive step forward.
And there you have it. You've got words for time, for action, and for description. You literally now have the fundamental tools to start expressing yourself in Indonesian. So I'm genuinely curious, after learning these core words, what's the very first thing that you want to say?